Yeah, this album is dedicated to all the teachers that told me I never amount to nothing. To all the people that lived above the buildings that I was hustling from that called the police on me when I was just trying to make some money to feed my daughter. And all the niggas in the struggle, you know what I'm saying? It's all good, baby. It was all a dream.
Well, hello, Bravites. Welcome back. Come on in. I know I have been away for a while, but guess what? I'm back to put Chicago on the docket again. It's been a while since I've talked to you, since I brought you a review. There's so many great movies out right now, but today I will be talking to you about Tyrant 2, Like Father, Like Son. This is a movie that is, of course, a continuation from Tyrant 1, which is Tyrant, Like Father, Like Son. And it's a movie about traumas, triggers, the hood, redemption, forgiveness. Which path do you take when you come to that fork in the road? It was written by Bo Deal, who's actually also the lead actor in the movie. So he is Smoke. And Lil Smoke, of course, is his son. And their rivals are Ricky and Lil Ricky. And you know how we do in the hood. I'm from the West Side. And you know how we do. When we have a little one, a son, daughter, whatever, they're Lil whoever the father or mother is. So we have Lil Ricky, Lil Smoke. And at the end of Tyrant, you know, there was a point that it came to, did somebody die? Did somebody get killed? How are we going to have a Tyrant 2 if the father and son get killed? I don't know. But I don't want to spoil the movie for you, but that's part of what's going to happen in this movie. So it's an exciting tale about things that can go on right in your neighborhood. If you're from Chicago especially, we know no place is safe. I don't care if you're in River North, if you're downtown, West Side, South Side, whatever. Anybody can get it anywhere. Unfortunately, that's just where we are right now. And if you've ever been interested in what happens in the hood, if you don't know what the YNs, you know who they are, how they talk now, how they operate, how they move is totally different than it used to be in the 90s. So if you remember in the 90s, we also had a movie called Boys in the Hood. And Ricky was a popular character in that movie as well. And we know Ricky got shot. We know that infamous scene when he gets gunned down and he's running through the alley. And he was trying to get out the hood, had promise on his future, was a football player and all of that. Didn't make it out. And we know the famous, iconic Ricky, when she was crying for Ricky. So we got Ricky again in this movie, and it's just interesting to see how much things have changed since then. So there was a different set of rules that were played by in the 90s when you were in the gang life. If you had turf wars, all that kind of stuff. We know babies, mothers, grandmothers, women, kids, they were off limits when it came to who got hit in a war. Unfortunately, nowadays, those same rules don't apply. So we see the YNs, the young ones, moving onto the scene, and they move by a different set of rules. They don't care. Anybody can get it anywhere as long as they are not able to come after me, because it's not about who's the slickest, it's about who's the fastest, who gets hit first, whose pole is stronger. It don't matter as long as you get hit first, and then they don't have to worry about looking over their shoulder. So we have a character in the movie named Kato, and Kato is one of the proteges, if you will, of the Tyrant gang. So Smoke was in the Tyrants. He started the Tyrants, and he's trying to move off of the scene. He came home from jail and he's like, you know what? I don't want no part of this life. I don't want my kids in this life. It's not a good life for anybody. Everybody needs to pull out, but if you don't, that's your business. I'm not in it no more. My hands are off of it. So Smoke comes home and he doesn't want to have anything to do with it. Unfortunately, Lil Smoke has already gotten a taste of that life, and he's used to being a hitter for the team. You know, he's used to being on the scene, doing what he has to do, sliding on who he ever has to slide on to make moves so that he can keep the name of the gang, I guess, alive. And so Smoke finds this out, and he's talking to his friend Keith, who is also like his friend, you know, one of the ones he started the gang with, taught him the ropes, taught him what to do, how to move in the streets and all of that. Keith has been holding it down since Smoke was in jail, but when Smoke came home and didn't want no more parts of it, Keith is like, hold on. This is a life you introduced me to. What are you talking about? You don't want to be in it anymore. So he's like, you know, I don't want to be in it. I don't want my son in it. Keith is like, well, your son is basically already in it, and these young ones move different. There is no telling them to pull back and get out of it. And he's like, I don't care what you're talking about. My son better not be a part of it. So we get through all of that. Of course, Lil Smoke is going to stay in it. But Keith has arranged for, Lil Smoke to really be able to play this gang game hard. And so he's still in it. And Kato is one of Lil Smoke's friends. And he is just like, robble, it is what it is. You remember in The Outlaws, Tupac had a friend named Kato as well. Kato got killed in real life, unfortunately, RIP to Kato. But he was like that, that hothead, kind of how Tupac was. It is what it is. It's on site, whatever. So that's how Kato is in this movie. And things start to spin out of control during the gang wars. And everybody's just trying to figure out what to do next. Who do we go to? If this soldier in the gang falls, then who does it fall to? So the guys start to move and do what they need to do to keep the gang game alive. Even though, they got some soldiers that fell, they got some that went to jail, they got some that got killed, that got shot or whatever. So everybody's now thinking like, okay, is this the life for me? Is this what I should be doing? Should we keep selling drugs? Do we find a new connect? How does all of this work? And in the midst of all of that, people are conflicted. They're meeting with parole officers. They have parole officers that keep up with them, that care about them, that knew what they came from, don't want to see them go back into that life, don't want to see them get killed or go back to jail. So there's all these questions of where do I go when I get to this fork in the road? Do I really pursue this life that I've been exposed to? Or do I make sure that I give myself a chance to live a life? Do I move away? Do I just pull back from the gang life and get a job? How am I going to get a job after I've been getting all this money hand over fist? Making drug game money is different than going to work a 9 to 5. Women aren't as attracted to it. I can't take care of my family on it. I'm not used to it. I got a record. What do I do? So there's all these questions that come into play, and you get to see Black men really dealing with the consequences of their actions, with them really starting to ask questions about the traumas and the triggers that they have to face. And they're looking at, what they built and whether it's something that's sustainable, whether it's something that's safe, whether it's something that they want to have their name attached to going forward in life. And Jay-Z has a song called Meet the Parents. And I love that song because Jay-Z always says in the song, the line in the song is, niggas be a father, you're killing your sons, meet the parents. And in that song, he's talking about how, you might not be a good father. You might not have seen your kids grow up because you didn't want to be a father for one reason or another, but you all end up in that same life. And you can end up getting your son killed or killing your son because you don't know who he is. So you couldn't care less about his life. And that causes so much chaos. And it's something that we really need to start thinking about as a community. And there's only so much that the women can do, right? We cry, we plead, we beg, we slap the boys upside their heads and tell them, you need to do better. You got to do better. You can't fall victim to this life. But what happens when they, take matters into their own hands, get out there anyway, and now they have a choice to make. And it's not as easy to walk away sometimes. It's not as easy to go out. Everybody is not the kingpin's son who doesn't want their children affiliated with it. But Big Ricky is somebody who also had a son in the game. And he was just touching it. He wasn't fully in the game. He was getting a taste of that life. But Ricky was like, you know what? I don't want my kids in this at all. I know what it takes. I know what it brings. And let that fall to me, and like Jay-Z said, I did it so you don't have to. I went through that way so you don't got to go that way. Like, I made the money, made the connects, got the power so I can protect you, I can fund you, but I don't need you out here in that. You go and you play ball, you play piano, you go to school, you study, whatever you got to do to not be in this life. And so that's what I really love about the movie is that you don't just see a regular old hood movie. You see people trying to change their ways, change their path, change their walk and their talk, and really coming to terms with, what does it mean if I don't do this? What does it mean if I keep on pursuing this road that I don't know doesn't mean me any good? Do I want to be standing here side by side in the middle of a gang war with my son? Or do I want to make sure that he knows that this is not all there is to life? And so you get, first of all, the movie is shot beautifully. The camera, exquisite. Like, it's really good work, you all. You got to go check it out. It's Tubi. It's on Tubi. It's Tyrant 2, Like Father, Like Son on Tubi. But when I tell you, it's not something that looks like it was shot with somebody's iPhone or some rinky-dink job. Like, they really put a lot of good work behind this. The editing is top notch. They stitched together the sound, everything was done really, really well. But what I really love most was the aerial shots of Chicago. So you get to see, if you're familiar with the West Side, you get to see the Fred Hampton mural that's on California. Was that on California? But it's when you're driving down Madison, you see the Fred Hampton mural across the street from what used to be Wallace's Catfish Corner. Memories all throughout the movie, right? You get to see just, of course, the iconic Chicago skyline, but just places that you can identify with that make you feel like this movie is about home. It's about my friends, my family, my cousins, my brothers, you know, whoever. You can identify with it. It touches you in a way that, you know, this means something to me just because I can identify with it and the people that are from this area. And so when you start to put yourself in the shoes of the people that are in this film, and you're not just looking at it as something that somebody shot that, you know, oh, I don't understand, I don't identify with any of this. Listen, if you don't know how the YNs talk, you don't know their lingo, you don't know what it means to slide on somebody, all of that stuff, it's not like a tutorial. But if you don't understand it, once you watch the movie, you watch it with captions if you have to, you understand exactly what they're talking about. It puts you right at smack dab in the middle of their world, and you get to see a black man talk to a black man and school him on what that life is all about from both sides. You got the parole officers, you got the counselors, you got the therapists in the movie, and they're all starting to come to terms with where they are in life and why they're where they're at, how they got to that place in life. And it is just like, it's chilling. I got goosebumps. It's something that you really need to watch, maybe even as a family, you know what I mean? Because it's something in it for everybody that you can walk away and you can take away, and it makes you think in a way that it's just not a shoot 'em up, bang, bang, who gonna get the power, who gonna get the drugs, who gonna get the money. Like, it's not like that. It's something that makes you question where you are in life and how you got to that point and how to get out if it's not a good point that you ended up at. So I implore you, if you have time, make time. If you don't have time, but go and watch this film and make sure that you are watching it from a point of, what am I supposed to get out of this? What am I supposed to take from it? And what can I share with someone about this movie? Because it really is a lesson in life. It's something that you can walk away with feeling better about spending your time watching a movie that's really a hood movie. That's kind of like shows you gang life, that shows you violence. It's not just doing it just to do it, just for fun, but it's something that is teaching you, something that is showing you people that really want to change. And, you know, even if they don't come out of it, it's something that makes you question why you're in it. And I think that's the real question we need to put into everyone's heads. Like, why are you doing what you're doing? How is it helping anybody? What are you going to get out of it? Do you understand the impact of it, where you're going to end up, what it leads to, and how that life that it leads to, or the death that it leads to, is it promising enough for you to keep pursuing that? Or should you really change your perspective? There's something that can be done. There's something that can be done better in your life that can help you not have to end up in a place that so many have ended up. If you think about it, since the 90s when I was young, there have been so many killings in Chicago every year. Let's just say, for fun, 30 people get killed in Chicago every year. And we know that number is way lower than what it really is. But 30 people every year for 30 years, think about how many people, that's almost 1,000 lives gone for senseless violence. And then we wonder why there aren't enough fathers, why there aren't enough brothers, cousins, uncles, why there are so many people that are experiencing traumatic events that if you talk to your coworkers or, you know, people on the job, or you meet people in different walks of life, ask them how many cousins, how many friends they've had to bury in high school or thereafter, and what it's like to have to go through that. They don't understand that. They don't know what that's like. It's something that's so foreign to them, but it's something that's so normal to us, and it doesn't have to be that way. And I think that's what Bo or Smoke, the writer of the film, is trying to get people to understand, is that the life that we're accustomed to, that we know, that we have made our norm, does not have to be our life. You can simply go and walk in somewhere and get a job. And this is the thing. The men, the black men, the young men that are coming up in that way, you already know you have leadership capabilities because you're able to run a gang. You're able to take orders. You're able to follow through fearlessly. You're able to make things happen. You're able to pick up the pieces and be resilient. Those are all skills and leadership capabilities that are needed on everyday jobs that can start companies. Those are the things that fuel the people like Bill Gates, Jay-Z. I don't want to start saying names because we don't know what these people do behind the scenes. But this is the thing that motivates people that are millionaires and billionaires to be who they are and get where they've gotten today. So I just think that if we all take away the right lesson from this movie, you will get so much out of it. Shout out to Chicago Outlaw. He was one of the producers on the movie. I think that's second associate producer, if I'm not mistaken. Beautiful job at promoting the film, sharing it with as many people as he could. That's how it got to me, because I would not have known about it before that. And there are some people that are major heavy hitters in Chicago and beyond that are in this movie that I'm telling you, once you see them in this movie, you're going to be, I didn't even know they could act like that. So it's something that you're going to get out of it that is going to be more beautiful and more motivating than you expected to come away with. I implore you to share it with your friends, with your family, little cousins, nephews, whomever, and just have a discussion after it. Sit around and have a talk about what you all have watched and what does it mean to you, and see if it doesn't affect change. Start to affect the change in the community and in the hood and in you specifically. I got on my Chicago blue and white today. I was trying to rep for my set, but y'all, this has been another review by Chicago Bravo. And I will say that I would give this movie out of 4.5, because it's just something that I feel like it's just so meaningful. And you just got to watch it to see shit to see. So 4.5 spotlights on this film. And the highlight is on real change, affecting your mind in a way that you did not expect to come out of the movie with. So let me know what you think in the comments. Please do share this review. Let me know what you thought about the review and the movie. And I'll check back in with you soon. So I'll see y'all later. And thanks for coming back and linking with me. Y'all stay tuned. I got more to come. More movies, food reviews, fashion, all of that. So stay in tune.
I made the change from a common thief to up close and personal with Robin Leach. And I'm far from cheap. I smoke skunk with my peeps all day. Spread love, it's the Brooklyn way. The Moet and Alizé keep